Hi, this is Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and Gigi Hadid and American political speech and American political action anchored in Hollywood, right? So I want Vivek Ramaswamy to be the 2024 U.S. president, right? To be the next president of America, and to be the full fruition of promise that both parties in America and all of America is dedicated to equality, right? So Democrats proved that when they elected Barack Obama twice, right? Now Democrats are saying, oh, sorry, that was a one-off. We made a mistake there. Here's another ward cleaver, right? So it's interesting, but if the Republicans can slam out part of the ward cleaver wall and say, hey, we're dedicated to equality and inclusion, and it would be a huge turning point in American history. It would say that all parties in America are devoted to equality, progressiveness, and inclusion, right? And that's a big deal, right? And so Vivek Ramaswamy is an incredible candidate. But I think if he's going to win, he needs to completely abandon everything that's traditional about running, right? Which is exactly what Donald Trump did, right? Donald Trump completely changed political speech. And he said, hey, the way I'm going to do political speech going forward in America, and granted, this was done by a few candidates in international countries for a while, but he's like, I'll make political speech about division and hatred and whip up prejudice in America. And he completely, and the way he did it, also he said, I'm going to bring complete incivility into political speech, right? And so he abandoned any civil discussion, right? Like, he talked like, I think it's bad to give, I want to say he talked like a sailor, but many sailors are respectable men and women, right? Like, they don't talk the way Donald Trump does. He just completely incivil talk, right? So he completely changed, right? Now I think there's this huge opportunity for Vivek Ramaswamy to say all American political speech and all American political action comes out of Hollywood. Whatever the stuff that comes out of Washington D.C. is completely tangential. And I don't have to work hard to convince you about this. Literally every 5 minutes, the Congress and the House and the Senate are like, hey, we're going to shut down America. Everybody okay with that? It's fine. Some people get checks, some won't. It's fine. We're going to just shut down America again. And the Republicans are like, oh yeah, we're completely non-functional right now. It's astounding. It is truly astounding how much Washington D.C. has checked out of political speech and political action. But boy, I'll tell you right now, they do not punch out in Hollywood. It is all political speech all the time, right? Let me prove it to you, okay? So I don't know if you know this, but America has just entered a second war, right? So Israel went to war, and immediately President Biden went to Israel, and then the moment he got back, he's like, hey, as soon as you Republicans figure out that you are hired to do a job and actually want to govern, I need $100 billion to aid Israel, right? So Israel is in the middle of a war, right? So they're literally in the middle of a war. And guess what the Israeli government is doing? They are clapping back at Gigi Hadid on Instagram. What? Right? So first of all, let's talk about who Gigi Hadid is. Who is Gigi Hadid? I don't really know, but except for one attribute. And I'm going to assume that almost all of Gigi Hadid's attributes are the same as the person I'm about to connect her to. So I don't really know who Gigi Hadid is. I don't think I've ever listened to her say a single sentence. I crossed across the room while she was on Netflix on some kind of reality show, right? But I do know one attribute about Gigi Hadid that makes her matter. And what is that? Bella Hadid. I know who that is, right? So who is Bella Hadid? Bella Hadid is a sneakerhead. She is a major player in the sneakerhead community, right? So let's talk about. So I'm a sneakerhead. I love sneakers. Nike first. Subsection of Air Jordan next. I rock with Vans, Nike, and I have subsections within Nike. I really like Nike ACGs. I love Nike Air Jordans. I love Nike Air, I would say. I really like everything they did with Kobe. And I'm a huge sneakerhead. Now, I will say this, though. I don't have many great sneakers, right? So it's like cars. I know a lot about cars, right? But I don't have a great car, right? Like, that's okay. The knowledge is enough for me, right? And I know a crap ton about sneakers, right? Nike Pigeon Staples, right? There you go. And Bella Hadid is a huge sneakerhead. I think she got the money for her collection through modeling, right? And so she's an American celebrity. She's a model, right? I think she became an American celebrity by being a top-tier model, right? And she is a major player in the sneakerhead game, right? She has a huge collection of sneakers. She cares about sneakers. She's knowledgeable about sneakers, right? She can give the nod and she can receive the nod. And if you're part of the sneakerhead community, you know what that means, right? So Gigi Hadid is Bella Hadid's sister, right? Which means she's an American celebrity, right? I guess proximity to Bella Hadid gives Gigi Hadid American celebrity, right? So Gigi Hadid goes on Instagram and goes blah 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 about the Israeli war, right? And the Israeli government's not happy with that, so they clap right back, right? And people are like, wait a second, did the Israeli government literally just respond to Gigi Hadid? And the answer is yes, right? Why? Because American politics, and that's what the war in Israel is about. It's about America, right? We're going to pay for this war. $100 billion is going to come out for it. It's going to be worth every single penny, right? I think we've dropped about $80 billion into Ukraine right now. And trust and believe, we've been paid tenfold back for every dime we put in, right? We invest in these wars because they are massively beneficial. Not profitable, beneficial, right? What we learned through the Ukraine war is how to crush Russia whenever we want, right? Just put them in the dirt, and the reality, and basically, we just watched every single capability of Russia, right? You know what we learned? They're not a nuclear power. You know how we know that? Because they can't maintain trucks. They literally don't know how to change tires. Before Ukraine war started, we thought they were an international superpower. They're not even a regional power, right? They don't have any functioning nukes. They don't even have functioning trucks. That's worth $80 billion, right? Frankly, I think that's worth $800 billion. Exactly what I said before. 10 times what we paid, right? So the reality is, we're going to dump $100 billion into Israel, right? And, because they're our ally and because they're the heroes in the situation, right? And we're going to get everything. We're going to get our money back. We're not going to get a dime back. We're going to get value for every dollar spent, right? And people are like, oh, we're spending all this money on these other, okay, do you understand? There's two currencies. There's blood and there's dollars. Let's pay in dollars. Right? Let's pay in dollars, right? And that's what we're doing with Ukraine, right? We're spending dollars rather than lives, right? That's the way to do it, right? So next time you complain that there's too much money going into the military-industrial complex, realize you're the monster because you're saying, oh, hey, I would rather pay that price in American blood rather than American money. That's not good math, okay? And that's the other thing is math's useless now. It's all logic. It's all patterns, right? It's pattern recognition. Math doesn't mean much anymore. Math is for the lower tier intellects, right? It's still valuable. It still has a function, but it's for the lower tier intellects. Just understand that, right? The real work's being done in logic and pattern recognition. So the reality is, Israel government, they're like, hey, we need to do political speech. We need to make sure there's political action. We need to make sure we're controlling this war, this war situation and getting the right message out. Who's the right person for that? Is it Senator blah, blah, blah? Is it President bling, bling, bling? No, it's Gigi Hadid, right? It's Hollywood. Political speech, political action happens through Hollywood. Washington, D.C. does nothing, right? But American politics are a gear machine. They click, 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 grind, grind, grind. Gigi Hadid is political speech. Gigi Hadid is political action. And Vivek Ramaswamy needs to go see her tomorrow. Tomorrow. Gigi, let's talk about the Israeli war. I saw on Instagram that you have opinions on the Israeli war, right? On the war in Israel. Let's talk about it, right? And I'd love to talk about it on Theo Von's podcast. Come on, Gigi. Let's go get coffee, right? There's going to be 100 there's going to be, 100 reporters there. That's how you win an election, right? You sit down and you discuss Vivek. That's how Vivek Ramaswamy dusts that fool President Biden, dusts that fool President Donald Trump. He sits down and discusses the Israeli war with the person that the Israeli government discusses it with, Gigi Hadid. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.